Welcome back to Cigar Federation, IPCPR 2017. I'm Tripp, here with Nelson Alfonso from Selected Tobacco and United Cigars. Nelson, how's the show been for you?
Yeah, the show was very good. Even with compared to last year, the sale was increased. And we are in this situation with SDA, and many people are worried about it. Even with that, the show was very good for us. Maybe in the next year we go to make more bigger booths for make more people, but was okay.
Great. And first, let's talk about the cigars. So you've got Atabey, Byron, Bandolero. Can you talk about those a little bit?
Yeah. Okay, I want to tell you a history before. My dad was worked to Hermanos many years ago. They make the vejique, make all the archives of Habanos, even the jars he make it. And for that, we make this jar to us. We made the free jars for Atabey and free jar to Byron. We have to Byron 3 line centuries, because this line century is all my family was down the cigars 18, 20, 21 century. This line you have Petit Poens like Robusto and Londinenses. In Atabey, we have Divinos, Brujos, and Delirios. After many years sold these beautiful products, we want to make a new introduction of these lines of products like boxes. For example, we sold Grand Poens, Habaneros in Humitube, very beautiful Humitube that they are cedar inside, and you can take this Humitube like a 6 months, whenever what happen. And now we got make a new boxes. One box for 19th century would be Gran Poema. You have also 2 the Gran Poemas in the Humitube. Yeah. You got a Habanero in the boxes. Also you have to make, you can find in Humitube, and you have of course Elegantes. These 3 boxes, that different line, we aged the cigar after the wrapper, 2.5 years old of lines. This brand have 5 years to 19th century Gran Poemas, 5 to Habaneros, 20th century, and 4 years for Elegantes, 21st century. Very beautiful packaging, you going to say, and very, very good cigar. To Atabey, we make to this year a new box Místicos. They have 25 cigars. Even the last year we put to the market Ritos, 35 cigar. They are ring 87, very nice cigar. And of course, we go to make a new boxes for the jars of Atabey. Here we have the box of Delirios, so the people can buy only the jars of Delirios. They going to buy the boxes of Delirios. Mm-hmm. Not now, but early. And the boxes we keep, maybe going to put a special edition for sale that was in the jars.
Tell us a little bit more about the Byron limited editions.
We do a very limited cigar, because you say we have a special cedars for four regions in the world. So we only can have a very, very, very big cigar. For this reason, only we have 200 cigars for each box. 200 for Habaneros, 20th century, 200 for 19th century Gran Poema, and 200 for Elegante. For that reason, we can have more cigars. They are very, very, very selected cigars. We put it a lot of ages, when I tell you before, a lot of ages for these cigars. So Lebanon, Western, Mexico, and also Cuba. So we have a mix of the cedar.
Different types of cedar in the aging room.
And many times of the year, 3 times per year, we put it down, take off all the cigars, and we wrap the cedar for take more
smell.
This is the word.
So I mean, the beautiful thing with what Nelson has done, he has Habanos, which has entrusted him to design all of the packaging.
Yeah,
he's taken that into account for everything that he does to make a very luxurious product. With the Gran Poema and the Habaneros, those are humidified. Those are humidors, humidified boxes, limited to 200 boxes per year. But with what Nelson does, he takes all of his artistry from packaging and he applies that to his tobacco. Mm-hmm. So we've had these other lines, the Gran Poema and the Habaneros, out in tubes. But when he was with Nelson, when the Nelsons were working on this tobacco, fermenting the tobacco for a minimum of a year, aging the tobacco for 2 years, they came across this leaf that they absolutely fell in love with. They wanted to use it, but not for necessarily a line extension, but to use it in a limited production on the Gran Poema and the Habaneros. So they use it, so it's a slightly different blend than what's in the tube, but it's such a beautiful cigar, so rich and complex, changing throughout, that the artistry goes into the cigar as well. And there's nothing that he rushes. Nothing will hit the shelves of the retailers until it's aged for a minimum of 4 years on the Elegantes and 5 years on the Gran Poema and the Habaneros. And we say a minimum because there are some cigars that might be 6, 7 years of age, but they know even after it's rolled, they select the cigars to go in each box.
Exactly.
So the artistry goes from the top to the bottom all the way through.
Wow. And the packaging is like it's kind of the most elegant packaging in the business. I mean, it comes from like the background of Habanos, but it's available in the U.S., which is kind of a big deal that it's been only available in Habanos for years, and then now you're bringing this beautiful packaging to everybody.
Absolutely, and you can see a lot of influence, throughout the show and around the world of what Nelson has designed. He's very careful in using his techniques. He wants the best for the outer packaging. All the jars are porcelain jars. It's not even a ceramic jar. All the jars come with a humidification unit on the bottom. An unbelievable seal. So these are humidors on themselves.
And with cedar in size.
Yes.
Cedar in size. So.
Yeah.
And can you talk a little bit about the Humitubes? Those are, very unique. You're the only company that does those.
We are the only company that does it, and the reason is Nelson has a worldwide patent on the Humitube system. So on the Humitubes, there are actually 10 brands in the world that use this tube. The Alfonsos have allowed Habanos SA to use seven of the tubes for brands like Montecristo, Trinidad, Romeo and Julieta, and the other 3 he uses for Bandolero, Byron, and Atabey. And the tubes, the patent comes from the double wall humidification system. So there are holes on the bottom, and the unit that supplies the humidity is on the bottom. That travels up the tube, and then on the top of the tube there's actually a bullet cutter. So it's a beautiful travel case as well that can be used after the cigar is enjoyed.
Yeah, I've got a couple and I use them all the time.
Thank you.
And you've also got a brand extension of the Atabey. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Correct. So the Nelsons have had selected tobaccos have had a few sizes that they produced a while back. We're still a very, very young company, and Nelson was doing everything on his own at first. He was not only doing everything for Habanos SA and the packaging, but he was starting his own company. And 5-6 years ago, Nelson, after finishing, working and finishing 2 universities, going through military, was able to work with his father during this time, and then in the last 2 years he's been handling more of the day-to-day operation. So these line extensions in Atabey have been a work in progress, because all the new lines that we do have, it's not new lines, but the release of these lines, they've been working on for 10 plus years.
Wow.
Because all Atabeys are aged for a minimum, again, of 5 years after they're rolled. So it's been a long introduction, and at this IPCPR, we've had a tremendous response with the Atabey line, the Mysticos, that's only available at this show. The other sizes will not be available for sale until 2018.
Great. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.